Yow! What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to our UGC Platinum Highlander match for the night. I'm your host, eXtine, and joined by Brick. What's up, Brick?
Hello, eXtime.
Yeah, we should be getting ready to go here in a second. We have been talking a little bit of pregame. I guess, well, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Brick. What do you think, who do you think is going to be the winning team here?
Personally, I'm going to say that the Ganks are going to be the winning team. Currently, they're on the blue team. I can definitely see Ranch pulling off maybe a round or two, but definitely 4-0 win it can be pulled off, but I'd like to see a 4-2.
Yeah. We do have RR over on the Ranch side stepping in. He is a very strong player, so that's personally who I'm going to stick with. Does look like we are live here, and right away, Red team going to start things off with the crit screen, while Blue is running the Uber charge, and Red heading up to the right side deck.
Not much to see here. Let's see if they both go under. Looks like the soldiers trying to push them out from under right now, and Snowboat's going down there.
Yeah, definitely controlling that under will continue to be a factor throughout. Haig gets a backstab on the Red engineer. That'll kind of slow things down. But Red is staying fairly steady with this crit streak that they're trying to build. Haven't lost too many players. They do also scope out the spy, which is very helpful. With him going down, that will help the Red team get some sniper control. They're having issues here, though. The crits has come out, but nothing accomplished with it. And Blue starting to overwhelm Red.
Yeah, both medics actually ended up going down there.
Couldn't really quite see that, or looked weird through the STV, but Stoke getting a kill on the Red Scout. Now a nice angle here, and picks off RR, who's on that soldier spot. Look for him to do some good damage there.
And this is going to be interesting to see how Ranch pulls this off now. Losing the point initially is really difficult, especially when you're down on the advantage. Well, it looks like both medics actually, there's really no advantage there.
Well, also since Red is sticking with that crit streak, they should have that charge ready to go before
before she has
does.
Uber.
Yeah.
Yep.
The question is whether they are able to effectively utilize it or not. Right now, RR with that direct hit, just trying to find his perspective, and surely that's not a very good crit streak weapon. They need to find the demo man, need to get with him in order to use this crit streak right. Heavy can work though.
They don't have a lot of time. They get the demo right now. It looks like they're going to push and they want to use this as soon as possible.
Yeah, they got to find Blue, who's hiding in that lower section. Oh, got to use it. There it is. It's popped. And they're not getting much with it. They got the spy. That was about it.
The Uber has been popped on the point.
That was good work, though, by the spy. The Red spy was the one who kind of teased that Uber out. It was popped so early, and the Heavy, has a good amount of space to run. They weren't really able to catch any of the Red players with it. Now Red making sure that this point stays secure. Doing a good job of that.
Yeah, even though their crits really wasn't effective there, they still had the Uber forced in a really bad spot, and because of that they weren't able to get any kills with it, and they weren't able to retake the point.
Yeah, I've said it before, I think crits in Highlander is one of those things where it's like, obviously, you get a 4K, 5K, that's amazing, but you just need to get the damage out there. You need to shake things up is almost more important than the actual kill count that you get.
And you really, if you're running crits, your main objective has to be killing the medic. Killing the medic is everything in Highlander.
And right now, medic is down low, has 95%. They popped the the red crits. Oh, but he's doing a good job positioning away. The red
gets a lot of picks, but he doesn't get the medic once again. And let's see if they actually get some kills there with the Uber, but they did not get the medic with the crits. So they're still going to have the advantage there. Yeah,
definitely a bit of a positioning thing. The blue medic, Rachel, was doing a good job of staying tucked away on Blue's entrance to the lower section. Right now, a scout from the Red team kind of poking at that, but going to have to back out. And right now, also, we do have 10 on 9 as Jin has joined the game. Okay, yeah, wait and spawn until RR dies. Yep, that's probably
it's probably a good thing to do.
The best plan of action. So maybe RR not going to be staying with us this whole time. That is nice of the players to get this game started. Let RR in here for a little bit and now switch back to the rostered players. So I was looking forward to seeing RR maybe have an impact. He tried to do his thing with that direct hit as long as possible and didn't really get much happening. But now the original out for the Red Soldier, that should help synergize with that crit streak. But Blue doing a good job. They really got a nice time on that capture point. Red has control of it, but are bleeding players, and Blue starting to get that position. They need to recapture the point.
Something definitely to point out right now is that Peyton has 100% crits, while Rachel is still sitting below 25% Uber. And they're capping this point. There goes the medic.
Yeah, that was good timing coming in. They stopped the capture as well. So, I mean, just letting the team try to get some time on it and then blocking it actually kind of gives them more time in a sense. They do need to make sure that they get some other players around here, and nobody from Blue, like this Heavy, just steps on the point and finishes this capture. So they haven't, at least so far, you know, retaken the territory. They still had the point. They were still counting down, but they kind of conceded a lot of area there. And now Blue restarting to get back in here. Go ahead, Brick.
Yeah, even though they took out the medic with the crits, they still gave up the point, which was kind of interesting to see there. You don't really normally see that when you pop a crits, get a medic, and force the team to back out, and then you yourselves are forced to back out because you're bleeding numbers. Yeah,
it didn't even seem like it was numbers, but you know, positioning. Sometimes when players are in Highlander, you know, you can see that it's like a 9-on-7, but if like 5 of those players just respawn and these 7 players from the other team are on the point, it's really a 7-on-4 for another, you know, 5-10 seconds.
Especially in Koth, where you can just easily get to the point as, you know, demo, scout, or soldier. A couple clicks and you're there.
Now Red Soldier Jin doing a good job of pestering around enemy lines. Blue Soldier was looking to counter him, didn't quite find him. They come out with this Uber charge, so they're going to wait for the Uber to wear off and then use the crits. I think this is a smart decision. Since they control the point, you make the offense make the move first. Now if they can come out here with this crit streak, crit Heavy through the door.
Laser beams through the door. They're not going to get the medic here, but they do force everything off the point, which is going to allow this clock to wind down even more.
And and there was no capture, so it didn't flip over. They have to watch out for the Blue Sniper, but as long as they can dodge him, they're going to be in an excellent position here. Rachel, on the other hand, though, you know, was able to escape from that engagement. Even though their team didn't capture the point, she still has the Uber charge. It's a quarter away from being ready to go. If they get a capture here, they're going to be in a good spot. But Red looking to hold on.
Does not die.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can definitely be in a position of holding this point and winning the round just due to the fact that she's on Uber.
Crits is going to be ready to go here as well. Rachel by that lower entrance. And Red has definitely backed up. They have time to play with, and of course, the overtime certainly ends up adding some extra seconds to your attacking capabilities. They just have to get a foot on the point before the timer counts down all the way, and here comes that offensive push. See what they can find here. You're going to need to get that Uber out of Rachel early. Here it comes, going to be used to try to block the point. The crit streak is popped. Hay does get a backstab on Peyton, the Red medic. And this is going to be tough. They need to finish this battle after the Uber is faded. The Heavy gets a kill on the medic. They need to get players on the point, though. It's just the demo man. That's going to be it.
Their flank there was just kind of sitting back and waiting for their combo to roll out there, and their soldier just came out, blasted some rockets on the point, and then out came Collide to just wipe out everybody else.
Yeah, I think Rachel really, you know, won that round for him by, you know, being able to escape from that crit screen, getting back. The rest of the team still stayed in there, still tried to make something happen. But you know, Rachel being able to get out and get that Uber charge built up, held onto it excellently. That really paid off. Now we see Cruz
really good
working
positioning
in here
as well.
Definitely.
Holding down behind the points, away from everybody, forcing their team to charge into the point first, and you're not really going to be able to crit strig on something down below.
Yeah.
They're going to see it coming.
Yeah, and the crits forced out as well. You know,
yeah, pretty much your entire red team wiped there.
Yeah. That was good offensive middle push by Blue, Barney and the Ganks. Going to start this thing off with a capture once again.
Something interesting to take note of as well, Ibby, also known as the best on their team right now, is running Soda Popper, while the other scouts is running the Scouter Gun. So it's going to be interesting to see the stats there. Hopefully we can get this Soda Popper banned from Highlander as well.
Oh, come on. Come on.
It's definitely interesting, but it can be really game-breaking in the right scout's hand.
Yeah, I think item discussion, something for another place and time. I'd like to see a lot of stuff. I'd like to see the versatility. I actually, you know, would like to see maybe teams given a chance to ban out weapons based off the map, you know, just right then. Because some of the stuff, yeah, as you mentioned, you know, the Soda Popper, You know, the best could utilize it in an amazing way, could get some great kills with it, but he also could have a lot of times where he's ineffective with it. And it can differ on map a little bit. We'll see how that continues to factor out, or what other unusual unlocks we'll see here. Right now, though, Red is just trying to battle in here, trying to get some time on the point, because it's just ticking away. A minute is kind of, you know, about the average hold, I would say, in a game of Koth on Highlander. If a team holds it for a minute and you retake it, then yeah, you're about even as long as you can hold it for about a minute. You know, it's a pretty decent time. But now that, you know, it's more like a minute and a half and they haven't retaken here, now they're starting to really get into some desperation of where they're going to need this crit screen to work, they're going to need to retake here, and then they're going to need to hold on to the point for a long time afterwards.
They do crits, but the Uber was popped right away. They do drop their demo, though, but
I thought
saving something's better than saving nothing, and they saved their heavy there.
Yeah, I thought it was a perfectly timed sticky that Rachel wasn't even going to see it coming in and be dropped, but she did get the Uber charged out. And right now, Red is getting some presence on the point, but that Blue Scout, the best, jumping around, does get Peyton. So that's going to make it a little bit harder to hold on to this point long term.
Yeah, they will get the point, but you definitely could see them losing it here pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to hold on to it long term. That's really what it's about in this mode. But
especially on Asheville, which is a very different Koth map from, say, Lakeside or Viaduct.
Yeah, yeah. Viaduct is pretty crowded in the Highlander format. I think Asheville is pretty crowded as well. Was originally designed in part thanks to Mackie from the famous EMG, etc. team. But it's pretty cozy here in Highlander, but there's still plenty of room to work. It's just like an in-your-face battle. And we'll see, you know, if the red team, Mexican Cat Ranch, can keep this up, can keep this defense going, and surpass the time that Barney and Ganks have set so far. We do have 90% crits Krieg was what I meant to call out there. But again, I think they're going to have to be in that scenario where they use it after Blue pushes out. But right now they're indecisive about it. They're like, do we be aggressive with this? Do we get in their face with it? I don't know. Now they're starting to back up a little bit more.
Blue team is just way so far back, they don't know where the medic is. That's really the issue of running crits on Koth, is you need to know where the opposing medic is at all times, where when you're running Uber, you don't really have to worry about that, because the second you have Uber, you gotta pop it when your team tells you to.
Here comes a Soda Popper Scout Uber. That is what they pushed in there. That is going to work out. Maybe they were letting him run around a little bit, build up that charge. Right on top of the heavy with that Soda Popper. Thanks to the support from his heavy, that Blue Scout, the best, charging in. And looks like that's going to be a minute and a half hold by Mexican Cat Ranch.
And Hayes able to get out after a sticky situation there. It's the teleporter.
Yeah, he's still lurking around though. Must be running that cloak and dagger since he's just standing on top of that barrel. Sees the pyro coming and is like, yeah, maybe I'll rotate a little bit. Wow, undetected so far though.
Cloak and dagger is definitely a really good weapon for this map. Ooh, and he gets the backstab.
A double stab.
The heavy there.
Yeah.
That is a huge pick for Hay.
Yeah, I forget exactly which spy it was. I guess it was probably Stabby, but in an interview on TeamFortress.tv, there's been a couple Highlander interviews that have been very illuminating. I believe Stabby was talking about the different weapons and just, you know, the importance of cloak and dagger in the spy's arsenal is that you're doing, I guess, an even more so traditional spy's role of you're just gathering intelligence. You're saying, this is where their medic is sitting, this is what we need to do. Okay, they're pushing in. You know, if your team knows that in Highlander, it's a lot easier to shut them down. And right there, Hay with that huge backstab on the medic and the heavy weapons guy, that basically really neutered things. And the early minute and a half hold and then the retake, just too much for the Cat Ranch to deal with. Unsustainable.
The Dead Ringer allows you to stay alive a little longer and get away with an aggressive pyro, where the Cloak and Dagger allows you to just calm intel a lot. If a team is running a pocket pyro that's just doing nothing but pocket pneumatic, Cloak and Dagger is going to be your best option there. It's going to allow you to sit there and wait for a good pick.
Yeah.
Where the Invisi-Watch is typically what you'll see spies running, and that just allows the spy to basically do whatever they want. Especially on the Koth map where there's a lot of metal to pick up.
Yeah, Red needs to find a way to dislodge Rachel from her spot, which is right here. Once they're doing that mid-fight, once they've got some territory, she's just staying at the top of that route from underneath. Right now, some great action. Able to get a blowback on Rachel, but not the flare shot combo or an extinguisher for that matter. So she survives. They're going to come in here with a 100% uber charge right now. Kritzkrieg is at 50%, so if they can pressure a pop out of Rachel, maybe they can follow it up with the Kritzkrieg. And they're going to have to be in this offensive situation. And
you can definitely tell right now, the Ganks want to be really aggressive with this Uber. They were holding up on their side of the point, really. It looked like as if they wanted to push into him, since they knew they didn't have crits yet.
Yeah. Right now, some good action from the red team, the Cat Ranch. They're finding some good luck on their left side. This does force the Uber out, but this could be disastrous if they lose Peyton.
Pyro Uber.
Oh, man.
But the crits, here comes the crits, and this could destroy him right here. Ooh, look at that crit pipe. Ooh!
Oh, that reflect.
Blunderful Satan.
Oh,
Best
man.
in the business. But then Ibby with that soda popper.
Yeah, that was good. That was good positioning. I mean, just being able to be there in that circumstances. Red still has, maybe a very slim opportunity. Oh, Stochastic snipes Billy Bob. That definitely kind of puts an end to it. They had a slim chance of pushing in and just winning a numbers versus numbers fight on the point.
I really liked Ranch's crits in the mid game, but it's definitely hurt them at the beginning as well as the end of the game. They haven't been able to cap the point at the beginning of the mid fights because of the crits disadvantage, and they really haven't been able to take advantage at the end game as well.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on the mid fight, but it also just kind of to pick out some of the details of it. You have at a mid fight with Kritzkrieg, you start with the advantage. Your charge builds faster. If you get the charge before the Uber and you use it effectively, you're going to win with it. If you go into a middle fight and both the medics survive and you build a Kritzkrieg and you don't use it until they have an Uber charge, then you're at a disadvantage. But they haven't even been able to. They haven't even been able to utilize the Kritzkrieg on the mid fights. That's the problem.
Yeah, their demo, their heavy, or their medic always seems to go down on the mid. Oh, it looks like they switched the Kritzkrieg there as well, but medic goes down right away. But they do get the medic pick on Peyton, so. Yeah,
that was actually ironic. Both medics were on Kritzkrieg. Both demos killed the opposing medics with their crit stickies, and then that was the end of it. So Red is in control of the point, 30 seconds behind, but they're in, a pretty good defensive stance here. They do have a mini sentry up top, heavy with the dispenser, a pyro. Man's coming in here as well. Oh, gets the kill on Rachel as well as Satan. So those are two nice picks.
Huge picks, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, really, there's not that many health packs that are close into the fight. There's the one health pack underneath, and the health pack back on the deck side.
Yeah, as you noticed, Blue had more players near the point, but they just weren't able to cap it just due to the fact that they were too hurt.
And now they're starting to get some players on there, but again, it's a question of whether this is actually sustainable or not. Some reinforcements coming in from the Cat Ranch, trying to prove that they got some longevity. Oh man,
they do get the demo pick there, yeah.
It's definitely, I think that was premature by Crux. I mean, his medic just got Kritzkrieg, and he jumped and died 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, as good as the laser beams are on this map, the crit stickies are just even better.
Oh man, he gets taken out by the best, gets in Snailboat's face. He does, oh no, he had one crit sticky left, or didn't quite get the opportunity to launch it though.
And Rachel will have crits here pretty soon, so this point will be easily defended.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that Red should have been piling players on this point already. It took him too long to get out here.
Heavy pick there.
You absolutely have to capture the point when you have the opportunity to do it. That's the name of the game when it's, King of the Hill, You just have to do it, and I think Red lost a really big opportunity there, even though they didn't have the Kritzkrieg or Uber Charge like here. But it just took way too long. They've just been giving seconds away, basically.
Yeah, every second counts in COD.
Oh. And while Hay is doing the healing here on his Demo Man, or sorry, while Peyton is doing the healing on the Demo Man, Hay just walks up from behind, gets a stab, gets a sap. Gonna destroy this whole, well, I guess he leaves the dispenser. Oh, there you go, buddy. Yeah, get that dispenser as well. No survivors. Yeah, and Red's gonna lose this. They got 5 seconds left. They need to get somebody on the point here.
Which has definitely been sad. They've been getting a lot of picks on Rachel here, and they can't capitalize on getting the med picks.
Yeah, it was players on the point, at that one particular moment where I think Rachel was still up, but it's just like, you gotta force the defending team to do something, and if they control the point and you're not putting pressure on the point, you're just giving them time,
And Hay went in there to try to get a stab on anything he could get, but he got calmed out real quickly, and everybody turned around and just destroyed him.
Now Blue has a minute to work here, a minute to get this point. Crux and Snailboat push pretty far forward here. Oh, the crits was late. Not enough damage to kill these Blue players before they can do their damage. Peyton, Crux, and Snailboat go down. And continuing this hold could be tough. They need somebody to get a flank on Rachel and get a pick. But with the engineer behind, now moving up with the mini sentry. Here comes the soldier out of the front door. But they need more players.
A lot of suicides here.
Just need more players. That's what they need. Oh, a double stab on the heavy and the engineer.
Oh, Doppel.
Oh, looks like they're gonna stop this. At least momentarily. Oh, wow. Yeah, Hay was coming up from behind. Tried to get the stab on the heavy. Incapable of doing so. Rhaegar gets one rocket reflected backwards. Satan coming up here. And we will have a chance for this timer to run out. Oh, no.
The heavy here collides on the point.
Yeah.
Collide. Soldier tries to. Oh, the soldier does live. No.
Yeah, it was a noble effort, but the respawns got him in the end there, just with how that flipped over and the player count. And that was a lot better out of Mexican Cat Ranch. I mean, that was definitely probably some desperation mixed in there, of being like, wow, like if we need to stop this, we need to do this now. And they started getting that, but they just weren't able to follow it through with some of the frags. A little unfortunate that they weren't able to completely pull that off, but it was a more exciting round.
Yeah, and even though the score says it's 3-0, these rounds have gone into double overtime every single time. This has actually been a really close game, so I'm definitely glad that this is the game that we picked, say, over DMS versus DRS.
Yeah, shout out to the other games being played. There was some people hoping that we would watch Street Hoops, I think, playing Blunderful. Was that it?
No, Blunderful's got a bye week. I know some people wanted Ginyu Force versus Apocalypse Gaming.
Oh, yeah.
The new Kimberlite.
Yeah, which hopefully, maybe we can get some STV demos from that, get some post-produced casts. Right now, watching Peyton doing a better job of staying alive. He's still got to watch here as the spy coming in. Oh, no, gets his demo man. And Pyro having a hard time connecting the flames. So here's the Kritzkrieg, but who's he going to go on? Pyro, Engineer, Sniper?
And something to also point out was that Jin was able to flank their team while they were in under and get the medic pick there with the original.
That's good. Yeah, and that's what needed to happen. They needed to get some pressure. They needed to dislodge Rachel from the spot that she was just always holding. She was staying safe and building charge and keeping her teammates healthy. So, gotta do something to obstruct the medic.
Yeah, it was just definitely a good play by Jin there, getting behind the opposing team when their flank was down. Yeah, take advantage of every opportunity you get. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah, battle underneath the point. Caffeine, 7 health. He's going to get taken down after getting the scout. So big frags coming out, and Rachel going down as well. Red Scout getting the frag there, and is going to follow up with another frag on Zan. So the scout doing good work here for the Cat Ranch.
And Peyton does have crits right now, but he is kind of a little hurt. It looks like that Engie got some really good time on that point.
Yeah, the regen is kicked in now, so getting that 6 health per second. It's just able to stay in towards the fight and blocking that capture as long as possible. The jump over the top, though, got to control that roof. 3 rockets onto the medic before any sort of response from Snailboat or company, and that's pretty devastating. Just having your heavy and your medic alone should have pulled back.
I can tell you, playing medic on this map is definitely one of the most stressful things. I had to do it back in Season 8, and my team we never figured out where we should have our combo hold, because if I held on that left side over by that house, just scouts and soldiers would always pester me, but if I was always on the right side near the battlements, snipers would always get me. So it's definitely not a really fun map to be playing, especially if you have crits and you want to pop in.
Yeah, it's a tough map. It really is a team map, that you need to have some players on both flanks, but you need to be able to work with good cohesion between those 2 units. You also need to rotate as a team and have that presence, as we've kind of called out a couple times. Here comes that Soda Popper Uber. Red still sticking with that Kritzkrieg. The best takes out Snailboat, but Peyton has rotated out. Yeah. Protected by the soldier, though, who, wow, best staying alive there, though. 15 health. Doesn't have the shotgun, I believe. I believe he's on gunboats. We could get crit soldier here.
Crits right there, yeah.
Yeah. Red has lost a couple players around. They're kind of waiting for Crux. They also just need to get out here. The Heavy is out here now. Now a few other players starting to show up. Again, one of the issues that has been with this crits is sometimes they've used it a little bit too late. You know, waiting for their players to lose a little health and then use the crits, and then they don't have time to actually finish the frag. But they are getting the capture here, and this is working out pretty well. They took a minute off initially. Oh, Snowball, flare shot it down. They took a minute off initially. A minute and a half is what swapped back, but now they have control of that point again, so they should take the lead, as it were, here fairly shortly. Jin gets taken down. They know where the combo is, and the medic healing that crits from down below.
Maybe he gets right behind the demo there, gets a good shot off of him, and then Zam was able to finish him off.
Yeah, it was kind of weird positioning. You know, the medic's on the bottom, Demo Man's up top, and now, though, it's kind of falling apart as other players have gone down. There goes Peyton. Rhaegor, Zan, a lot of players coming in here doing work. Now this time, unfortunately, it's going to be a lesser duration on that hold. Red Sniper Snowball is going to try to do some sort of work, but with just so many players there and a lot of projectiles, he has to just back up. And Red has conceded the point. Blue is counting down, and only 30 seconds on that second hold, really.
The Uber was forced there. They had Blue had a bad pop. The scout looks like it came in and forced him.
Yeah, that's pretty much a wash for that Blue Uber charge. So that's a really good force from the red team. Now the question is, will they be able to capitalize on it with this Kritzkrieg? Can they get it going on? Crux, I think, you know, it was a couple Kritzkriegs ago, not able to get into the best position, or actually jumped early, and then they had the Kritzkrieg and he died, and they had to wait for him to come back. Red Medic in a weird spot. This is one of those spots where it's like, yeah, you know, this is a good spot to build and stuff, but it's just his spy here with him. So it's like anybody could round the corner and kill him right now.
Oh yeah, a scout, a soldier.
He does have the players now. He calls the charge, but you know, they need to get to Rachel, and Rachel's all the way across. Get those crit stickies, but gotta get to Rachel. And it's a little too late. Pressure coming in, but actually, this is going to backfire.
Wow. Yeah, back to the point where they critted, but they weren't in any position to get any good shots off. But hey, they did get the medic pick there. Looked like their scout was able to come in and kill Rachel before she had Uber.
Yeah, a bit of a consolation as GG's called out. Maybe, you know, slightly early, but it is accurate.
It did look like there at the beginning there that Ranch was having a much stronger game, but then just kind of trickled down to little things, and they just weren't able to capitalize on in the late game of killing Rachel and then capitalizing on those picks.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit, you know, it's similar to what we discussed in pregame. You have some DM factors in KOF, but really, you know, it comes down to the larger team fights. And if you don't have the cohesion, if you don't have the players working together, if players are just throwing themselves out, then they're going to die. And then there's going to be nobody to capture the point afterwards. It's more about controlling the point than it is about your frag score at the end of the night. And I think that's Barney and the Ganks had a better team game plan overall than what Mexican Cat Ranch were throwing at it. The Kritzkrieg, you know, it just didn't have as big of an impact as the Uber charge did. Crits can be for big plays. It can really open things up, make things happen, be a thing for surprises. But Rachel and company were just using that Uber charge so effectively to stay alive and to have an impact. So
the Ganks positioning was really the big factor of why the crits was ineffective. Mm-hmm. Had nothing to do with Ranch's lack of DM. They had really good DM. You could look at the logs. Like, it will show you their players. They did really well. The issue came though when they had crits that Rachel was just so far behind their own lines that they couldn't get to them. And once she had Uber, that entire combo would just push right into them, and they would Uber before they could even crit, and they were forced to crits to try to kill whatever they could, but it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, very well played by Barney and the Ganks. I'm glad we got to see it. Self-sustaining Mexican Cat Ranch, unfortunately, that dips them down to 2-5. Barney and the Ganks now back to a positive record with 4-3. But I mean, this league, how it's winding up right now, You have Street Hoops, at least going into this week, undefeated. Ginyu Force 5-1. But, if Baby Punching Marathon loses to Street Hoops, if AG loses to Ginyu Force, and, depending on the outcome of Menace to Society versus Last Bosses, if Menace to Society loses, then all of a sudden you have a ton of 4-3 teams. So, that middle section of this Platinum division is going to be really tight, and excited to continue watching some of these games and some of these matchups. Not quite sure who we're going to have for you guys next week, as the way that the UGC scheduling works. They're basing the matches off of ELO, so the matchups aren't known until the current week has finished up. But we're going to do our best to pick out a great matchup for you guys, and also pick up showcase some of these teams that perhaps we have not yet seen. And wow, we actually only have one more week of regular season. So next week's going to be super important as well. And it's going to be Payload Badwater. So that should be pretty exciting.
A map definitely where Team Cohesion will win over DM every time.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, if we're going to have a playoff deciding map, let's have something that's a classic in Highlander and part of that stopwatch format. Well, Brick, it was a pleasure having you join me tonight. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you for having me. It was a really fun experience.
Hopefully we'll have you back again sometime soon. Any shout-outs you want to give before we finish signing up here?
I have so many shout-outs, I don't know who to give them all to. I get everybody in the round-robin tournament, the Minty groups, all those people out there. I'll give a shout-out to my friends and the Gold Division here, the Cuties, all of them. Definitely my teammates with the Last Bosses. Hopefully they at least did well against Menace to Society, but we all know that MTS is definitely a high-plat team, and TLB really hasn't really performed at a mid-plat level, so I don't really expect them to win, but that something weird could happen. 5 players could just, have gotten hacked and DDoSed or something. Not saying I did it or anything, but...
Yeah, it just goes to show you never can tell. Well, I want to give a quick shout out to Kip, my usual co-caster for these UGC events. She is at the Cardinals World Series game, so I hope she's having a good time. Cardinals losing at the moment, but best of luck for the Cardinals. I got some other good friends that are Cardinals fans that are keeping their fingers crossed. But thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back next Monday at the classic UGC starting time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, twitch.tv/eXtv esports is the home of all of our live coverage. You can check out our post-produced cast as well as our moments of glory, glimpses of mediocrity, and our top 10 TF2 plays of the month on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/comft with 2 M's. And September top 10 should be coming out fairly shortly. I don't know if we're going to beat Halloween. The Halloween update probably coming out tomorrow. We've actually had a really good streak of getting our top 10s out before the following month concludes. But, audio mastering, all that, sometimes things take a little bit of time. I also was sick, so that kind of slowed down our recording process. But it's going to be a sweet video when it comes out. And Luke already pumping away at the October top 10. He tweeted a picture showing all the clips that we got. But, honestly, we would love some more. So if you had some awesome action in your match for UGC this week, please send it in. We would love to see it. And that does it for me. I'm eXtine, and on behalf of the eXtv staff, I will see you next time. Peace out!
Stay classy, UGC.